What's up guys, and welcome to this new video on Google Ads or Google AdWords Express. Now it's something that I got a ton of messages about because so many people are confused with that. By default, when you create a new Google Ads account right now, you are always going with Google AdWords Express. And I've noticed that several times when I got a new client and I was about to manage their campaigns to get them more sales and more profits, I realized sometimes they were actually using Google Ads Express. And one thing up front, before we get into it, Google AdWords Express is not recommended for most of you guys out there. So Google Ads Express or Google AdWords Express is basically an overly simplified version of Google Ads where you don't have access to a bunch of very, very important features. So it may be useful for you if you just run like a small local business where you don't need to get super creative or in-depth with your advertising. But if you have a bigger company, if you operate in multiple areas, or if you run an e-commerce store or something, which I assume most of you guys do, then it's definitely not useful. However, with this being said, I want to show you around. I want to tell you a little bit more about Google AdWords Express just so that you get a better understanding of it. So for the sake of this video, I created this new Google Ads or Google account, the eCom project test, as you can see it right here. And right in the beginning, you will be asked, what's your main advertising goal? And as most of you guys are probably running e-commerce stores, let's go with get more website sales or signups. So here, right, choose this goal, blah, blah, blah. We pick this goal. And then in the next screen here, we will already be launching our first campaign, basically. So in this case, I will just go with the eCom PPC Academy as an example here, my Google Ads training, and I will just go with this very simple name, very quick. We hit next. And then you will get to this next screen where it says, where are your customers? And there you see, now it shows my local area. I live in Germany, and by default, they give you like your personal area where you're in right now. And of course, there are a bunch of ways you can do that. You can go with states. I'm actually not sure if you can go with continents right here. Yeah. But you can go, for example, you could say the United States, and now on the right-hand side, you can reach 276 million people per month. So that's a lot, right? If you are advertising an online store and you would use Google AdWords Express in this case, you already see that this is possible by just, adding the country you are selling in, for example, the United States. And if we hit next, then we're actually creating, after we gave them a little bit more information, so they already understood that that's an internet marketing service. I'm just keeping it as it is right now. Of course, you would, if you want to use it for your business, you would change that. But now you see how it's actually really simplified. So in the normal Google Ads account, you can, create a bunch of settings for your ads. You can create a bunch of campaign settings. You can go ahead, you can create ads and ad extensions and so on and so forth. Here, very simple. We have a description. We have two headlines. We don't have much tests. There is just like some example ads that we can check on, or this one here where we get some more information, but it's very light. So that's now eCom PPC Academy. Very simple. For example, learn how to dominate Google Ads. Something like that, but you see that you have far less control than with normal Google Ads when you create them in the right way. So again, just clicking next. Here we see the next thing. You can enter our own budget in that range here, or we can just go with one that is recommended. So recommended for us is 15 euros a day, which is the average, but it means that we will not spend more than 456 euros per month in total. So even though the daily spend can change, we are always spending our daily spend times 30, or I think times 30.5 or something like that, because Google doesn't charge us more than that on a monthly level. And then we go through with that as well. So here we have like this little overview here. 5,000 to 9,000 impressions per month. These are the clicks, product, service, budget, 15 euros a day average, and so on. And that's pretty much the whole thing that you can that you do in Google AdWords or Google Ads Express. So now, of course, you would go with the setup of our billing address and all that kind of stuff, which in this case we are not doing. But you get the idea. This is really the most basic sort of variation, or the most basic version of Google Ads. And for you, so again, when does this really make sense? It makes sense if you first of all have a very small budget and you don't want to deal with Google Ads at all, right? When you are just like saying, I don't know, I run a restaurant or I run a dentist office or something like that. Even though in these cases you may need more advanced campaigns because it's getting pretty competitive. But let's say you have a local business and you're saying, I just want to focus completely on my business and not on my Google Ads. So I create a basic, simple campaign with AdWords Express. And in this case, this could be okay. You could get some sales or some leads or some customers with that. And especially it's a huge time saver. It will never be as efficient and as effective as a fully built out Google campaign. You know, you're not really filtering your traffic. You cannot get very specific. You cannot maximize your CTRs and all that kind of stuff. But you will do okay if you are not in an environment that is too competitive. Now, as I said in the beginning, if you run an online store or something like that, this is an absolute no-go. Like, you cannot really compete against others that are also using Google Ads when you run on Express, because the other people will just outperform you. They will be just much better. I'm actually not sure whether it's even possible to run them with Google Shopping, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure right now because I always switch to normal Google Ads right away. So my knowledge about Express is somewhat limited, but as long as you're not having a very simple local business, that's exactly the wrong thing to do. Just a little reminder, this is a very short video, but I've seen this multiple times and I've realized that many people just don't know it. They think that's the actual Google Ads, and Google actually made it a little strange, to be honest, here, because in the very beginning, when you set up your account, you can decide at the very bottom, like, hey, I'm already a little more advanced. And I think we will still see it here if I go back as much as I can. Maybe back again here, experience with Google Ads. Then they should go ahead and give us the, you know, here some more flexibility. Yeah, shopping is not enabled here, but then we can go with campaign without a goal. We can hit continue, and then we do the more sophisticated campaign creation that you actually know from real Google Ads if you want, right? So this is where you have all the options available, the different networks and the settings, and where later on we will be able to set up keywords and all that stuff. This is what you're looking for, not the other thing. So yes, this was just a very simple video. Probably I was repeating myself several times here, but I just wanted to bring that across. If you enjoyed this video, if it was just somewhat helpful for you, let me know in the comments and leave a like. And also, if you don't want to miss on any future Google Ads and e-commerce videos, dropshipping, this is what I'm focused on here on this channel, the eCom project. Make sure to subscribe to not miss the next video too. With this being said, thanks a lot for watching. I'm really looking forward to see you in the next video again. And until then, I wish you all the best. Bye bye.